Quick Start Guide is designed to go over the do's and don'ts of your first 48 hours. And the first 48 hours is the behavioral pattern that's set by all new independent representatives. So we like to say the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. So I like to say you want to know before you go, because remember, this is a business and you want to just be blurting out anything. You know, there's terms and conditions, policies and procedures. Get with your sponsor or your trainer, cover some of the other issues that might not be, included in the Quick Start Guide. They're going to know what's in this guide, and so they might have some other important things that they want to talk to you about, which we couldn't include due to time constraints on the video. So there are three principles, at least I learned over 20 years ago, and they still apply today. One is to pay attention to the formula that the company is offering. Yes, everybody has great ideas going into this, and yes, everybody has an opinion, but remember, duplication is the key to your success. So you want to be duplicating the same formula over and over and over again. So we ask you to pay attention, especially to our compensation program, which has paid the most money to the most people in the shortest period of time. Step two is get excited. I think Zig Ziglar says it best. He says your attitude, not your aptitude, will determine your altitude. Remember, the information you seek, right, the knowledge, already exists in other people that are going to work with you side by side in the program. All you got to do is learn the formula of teaming up with them, and you can have immediate results. And step three is never give up. I mean, if you're going to quit, it might as well be on the very first day. Save you a lot of time, energy, and frustration. Remember, quitters never win, winners never quit. Now, Wayne Gretzky, nicknamed the Great One, greatest hockey player that ever played the game, he has a fabulous statement. It says, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And I think that pretty much sums up everything that you really need to know when you're first getting started. Every person you don't talk to is an automatic no. Every person you do talk to has the opportunity to turn around and you can help them and they can help you. Now, the one thing you got to do here is realize you got to have a target and a goal to be successful. The only thing in the beginning is don't be the target. And we call that the disaster scenario. And I'm paraphrasing here, but this is how it works. You sign up and you're so excited, right? You want to immediately go out and tell everybody that you know. You want to share the information. The problem is you don't have any proper training, support, or guidance, right? Remember, this is what not to do. So your friends, they're your friends, so they're going to ask you questions and they're going to not be nice about it. And what a lot of times, because you're new, is you don't have a lot of credibility or knowledge on your side, and so you're kind of stumbling forward, and they're just going to start poking holes in this. And most people like to be negative when faced with challenges, especially from people they know. At least this has been my 20-year experience. And so what happens is you get discouraged and quit. And of course, all this can be avoided if you learn the system, right, with a proven track record, which is even if you could answer all the questions that they're going to ask you, the two you can't get away from is how long have you been doing this? And if you're brand new, you're looking at your watch, which means you're already in trouble. And you say, well, I just got started. Well, they're going to say, well, how much money have you made? And when you say, well, not any yet, and they say, well, why don't you come back when you have? Right? Now that scenario will keep repeating until you don't. So the following will help you better explain your business opportunity with additional resources to add credibility to your story, right? So do not underestimate the power of third-party credibility. So what do you do? Well, your new job description is simple. You simply recruit and sell all day long. Now, it doesn't have to be on a full-time basis. Putting an hour a day in is more than enough to establish a great, consistent track record that you can build upon. Now, once again, we have three more principles. One is to get locked in. 2, talk to people. 3, telling stories. We keep it incredibly simple because that's the way the formula works, right? Facts tell and stories sell. And once you kind of get that one down, the rest is easy. So let's start from the beginning, getting locked in, not only to the product, but also you want to get locked into the opportunity. Now, can you build a business without taking the actual product? Yeah, but you're never going to really build a huge organization, right? What you want to do is be a product of the product so you can relate to the people, and as you're out there communicating with them, you can make that connection. 2 is talking to people. So regardless if it's over a cup of coffee with a good friend or at work with a colleague, there are certain things you want to say and not say when you're engaging with people. But first and foremost, our top priority is building a master list. This is to be accomplished before you do anything else. So take a complete inventory of everybody you know. And they often, old school is get a memory jogger out, kind of think through all the people that you've associated with in life, but let's not kid ourselves. This is not 1985. Now, this is the internet revolution, right? So between Facebook, MySpace, and even just your cell phone, you've already got all your contacts listed someplace. So just make sure you got a list of all the people, so when you start marching forward, right, you can track your results. Now, once again, if you really want to build your business the right way, I recommend to use Extreme MediaWorks. This is a product that we offer. It does two things: video email and video conferencing. So the easiest thing to do is take the videos that the company's already designed for you. There's a 2-minute teaser video that comes in English and Spanish that can be sent out with your contact information to take them directly to your website, and that's a great way to break the ice with people without you having to run all over the countryside, right, trying to track people down. So once again, sending it through Extreme MediaWorks isolates the video. Can you do it on YouTube? Absolutely, but once the YouTube is opened and played, then it opens you up to the whole rest of the world on YouTube, and then people can get lost. Now, besides just the 2-minute videos that I talked about, we have complete recorded webinars, right? We have PowerPoint presentation material, stuff you can print out, brochures, business cards, postcards, a whole arsenal of things at your fingertips that you can use when you're going to engage with people, either over the internet or in person. And of course, you have a website, very much state-of-the-art, has a video of its own, very professionally done. The product is listed here, how to actually order it online with a credit card, or they can even sign up on an opportunity. There's a slideshow that shows a lot of before and afters. Once again, another great tool at your fingertips to help you, tell the story. And what I like to tell people is, when you're in doubt, just collect customers. So if you're a product of the product, customer to customer is the simplest process. Here, it doesn't take a whole lot of skills if you've got the story down. We've created a brochure with other stories. We see Danny Pacheco here on the right in the brochure. We've got Barry Zinn on the left. Both of those gentlemen had lost over 50 pounds within 90 days without exercising. There's yours truly in the middle. I didn't lose as much. I lost 30 pounds, but that's everything I wanted to lose, and I did it in 9 weeks. So once again, these are stories that you can relate on the brochure besides your own personal story. And of course, Dean Tornabene, you can Google this guy, you can look him up. Not only was he Mr. America, not only was he a powerlifting champion, he's been a formulator for decades. Why do I tell you this? Because that's part of the story that you want to tell people. But first and foremost, I always tell people, look, it's only $2.17 a shake if you do 2 shakes a day, and you're going to lose whatever weight you want to lose within reason. But my question is, will you drink a shake? And they say, well, I could do that. And they say, well, that's the whole part of the program. And remember, telling stories. Facts tell, but stories sell. Good stories relate to not only logic, but also emotion. They can create positive feelings about your product or your opportunity. And now, if you can tell a good story rather than just recite facts and figures about your experience, you have the opportunity to make an emotional connection with your prospects. Now look, if you're a mom or dad, you're already trained to do this, right? Because you have children, and they don't want to hear the facts of life, right? You tell them a bedtime story. We watch TV because it's the greatest storyteller of all time. So telling stories is what it's all about. The problem is if you try to get into the whole facts and figures, you're just bringing up a whole bunch of needless questions that are going to come up in the process. So once again, telling a story is simple, but you got to know what story to tell at the right time. So when you're brand new, tell your upline story, cross-line stories that are in the literature. 2 is then tell your story, right? You tell your upline story until you have enough time to create your own. And of course, the one that hits the home runs is telling the people right? The people that have come after you and their success. And when you really want to hit a home run is when you start telling other people's stories. Very short period of time, a lot of people are going to say, hey, I want more information, or hey, how's this work? Well, once again, you don't have to drop everything and dress up and drive across town. You can simply put people on video conferencing through Extreme MediaWorks. Get with your sponsor, trainer, team leader, and set up a video conference. Remember, the end user does not have to download software or sign up on the service. They simply answer an email and they're brought right into a video conference. Now this is how we actually build a successful business. This is the secret, right, to building a successful group, which is to use the third-party credibility of the experts in the company you belong to. So there you are, you're new, you're excited, you have a relationship because the prospects are everywhere, right? Between people who need to make money and people that need to lose weight, we're talking hundreds of millions of people. Unless you're living under a rock, you know, there's all kinds of people to be able to work with. So you have some type of relationship. Your job is not to sell them. See, this is where everybody makes the mistake if they're brand new and there's no training. Your job is not to sell your prospect on the opportunity. That's where they start firing back. Your job is to tell your prospect about some of the credibility that exists within the people above you in the company. Maybe the money they've made, the time they've been involved, the results they've had on the product, the result they've had with the compensation program or the industry. So the person, you know, that you're trying to introduce to the company, right, your prospect, walks into the equation with a little bit of respect, right, for the people they're about to meet. And if you do that successfully, sky's the limit, because you're working in a team capacity where your prospect not only gets the right information to make their business decision, they also see that you didn't have to do the heavy lifting. And when they see that, then they engage. Because remember, is it simple? Does it work? And can I do it? Those are the three questions that come up often, and they see that it was a simple equation. And that is what we say, the teamwork that creates the money molecule, which allows for immediate success. So here are the 6 steps to build your Liberty Freedom Network business successfully. Step 1, pick a package. I'm using the accelerated pack, right, as an example because it pays the most money and it's the least amount of work. So step 2 is you make the list of those warm market contacts that we talked about. Step 3, then we email, out the company videos, we do the product demonstrations, we hand out the recruiting materials. Now you're in the sorting business, not the selling business. Just take the interested people, leave the other people behind, because it only takes a couple people to become successful in our program personally. And then of course we duplicate that formula. So then when they're interested, plug them into a webinar, or take them to the website, conference call, 3-way call, or live meetings with your third-party credibility helping you out along the way. Step 5 is by signing up just 3 people at the accelerated pack. Remember, when you recruit 3, all the things on the matching auto ships are free, and you're going to make $800. Which is really exciting, right? And then what you want to do is help those 3 people get their 3 people. Very important, right? And then now you've made over $1,000, but more importantly, you've got your nucleus designed, right, set up, where you not only don't have to pay for your products and services anymore, but you have the foundation to go out and make your 6-figure income. So the 5 phases to successful duplication is a formula that everybody needs to start in the same place if they want to be successful. So step 1, or phase 1, is the product, right? So if you're a product of the product, you know that it's simple, right? You're going to find out that it works, and you're going to get excited because you know you can do it, right? You had that success. Quadrant 2 is where you go out and introduce the product to other people. Now, if you've already got your own story going on, it's incredibly simple, right? And they're going to sign up, because who doesn't want to lose weight if all you have to do is drink a shake, and it comes out to be only a couple bucks a meal? So they're actually going to save money and lose weight. And once you sign up enough customers, they're going to have the same feeling that you do. It's almost like bragging rights, right? When you lose weight, you want to tell everybody, or everybody wants to know your secret, which brings us over to the 3rd quadrant, where you're supposed to be then once again asking for help, right? Reaching out to your leaders, reaching out to your sponsors, your trainers, and as you work, that teamwork that we just talked about, you're going to see your other people also bringing people to the equation. You say, wow, I'm selling not only the opportunity, but my business is starting to grow, even without me. And then as your team starts to grow and multiply, then you jump into that 4th quadrant, which is to teach people what you've learned, which is start on the product, sell the product, and then recruit the people, right? We often say sell your recruit and recruit your sell. But the point of step 4 is to let you know that you're not done as a teacher or a trainer until you duplicate your efforts, right? Once again, 5 phases to successful duplication. Not 4, but 5. And as you put 2 people into the system, not personally, just you find 2 people within your organizations on separate teams that both want to become teachers or trainers, you're giving yourself an incredible opportunity to make a 6-figure income. If it's 4 or more trainers and 4 legs, we're talking mid 6 figures. And anything above that, is the dream money that people often, sit around and fantasize about, but they don't have a vehicle to get them there, and now you do. Once again, remember, now facts tell, stories sell. And here's, I think an important thing to talk about, because a lot of people get this confused. Sales versus network marketing, and most people think they're the same, but in reality they're the exact opposite. Because in sales, if you've ever been there, you know somebody that's in the industry. They spend almost all their time trying to find a client, and then they only spend about 10% of their time in closing on average, right? And so what happens is you only make money during closing. That's why only the strong survive, and a lot of people that try this particular field end up quitting or not liking it. Well, networking is not the same, because when everybody starts, they've already got all their prospects surrounding them. And if you got a great product like what we've got, it's not very hard to reach out and find somebody. But then the laws of leverage, right, take over. Remember, sales is an individual sport. Networking is a team sport. And so as your team starts to grow and multiply, they're bringing all these people to the equation. If it's done right, you're going to spend 90% of your time closing. And remember, we talked about you only make money in closing. So it's a complete opposite formula, and that's why you see people in networking, who make a ton of money only working a small amount of hours. Is it hard work? Absolutely, but it's a smart way versus a hard way of earning income. Now, this is a checklist for serious business builders. If you're in the mentality that, hey, I just want to make a couple $1,000s, I'm happy, you can skip this. Just know that it exists and come back later in case, the situation changes. But if you're a person right from the beginning that says, hey, man, I can take this and run with it, just tell me what I got to do. Here you go. Step 1, make sure you sign up on the Accelerated Progression Activation Package, because it opens all your 7 business centers, and you get to override, and make the maximum amount of money that you can make from day 1. 2 is monthly auto ship at 1,100 points. That way, once again, you're set up to lead by example and maximize the comp plan. Now, it sounds like a lot of points, but all that really is, if you were to take the 4 most popular things, is your website, SOS Plus, Extreme Media Works, and Alicious, and you're already at 1,100 points. Now remember, refer 3 people to any one of those products, and those products become free. Step 3, send out the video emails. Keep going till you got 50 people directly to you. Step 4, invite 3 to 5 people to watch the company webinars or the videos every day. 5, make 5 to 10 full presentations per week of all the people in your group, right, from step 4 and above. Step 6, attend every major Liberty function within your area and take somebody or take your whole team with you. That's very important. Don't just go alone. Encourage other people to go with you. Step 7, continuing education, incredibly important. I always recommend Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, because it was the book that I had learned from, which changed my life 20-some years ago, and since then I've read hundreds of books. But the point is, self-improvement is part of the equation if you're going to be a leader. You want to get as much information from other multimillionaires or billionaires as possible, so you're always refreshing your mindset and giving yourself new information, but it also makes you stronger as you move forward. 8, be on every opportunity or training webinar with at least 1 new person. Once again, don't go alone. Bring people with you so everybody's learning together. 9, make 1-minute phone calls with each of your key leaders. That way you can pass around stories that you've all collected for the day. 10, read your Liberty Mail daily. 11, attend every national event with all of your Liberty team. So remember, duplication is the key to your success. I appreciate you paying attention. Make sure all your new independent representatives get a copy of this so they can all start their business off, with a fast start, and not go through the pitfalls of becoming the target, having their friends beat them up, doing wasted energy by trying to do everything themselves, and teaching their new prospects the wrong way, right? We want them to learn the right way right from the beginning. Once again, I appreciate you paying attention. I wish you all the success in the world. God bless.